What is going on, everybody? Today, we're going to be going over how you can use Polteageist within the Tera Raids. And honestly, it wasn't very good in Dynamax, but being Tera'd makes it so much better. So let's get into it. So Polteageist is a very interesting Pokemon. We have got it in Sword and Shield, and it just seemed to be kind of gimmicky in a competitive standpoint, and it just wasn't very good. But within the Tera Raid system, it can be very interesting. We do have a Ghost. The Tera type I would recommend is Psychic, because you can switch that to Psychic. Could run Ghost, up to you. Now, the held item I like using is Light Clay. He is kind of a supporter, so you kind of just help your team do more damage. A very interesting way that you're not actually attack chair. So let's jump over to the moves and see what we're working with. So as we look at the moves here, remember we are running the Light Clay. It runs screens up to 8 turns instead of 4. So move 1, we are using Psyshock. What Psyshock does is it's a special attacking moves. So it's very interesting because you go ahead and use your special attack stat to hit on the physical defense side of the opposing Pokemon, which comes in handy with our weak armor ability. But you could swap this out for like Shadow Ball, Strength Sap, which are all very solid. Shadow Ball will be your stab move, and Strength Sap would heal you and lower the attack stat of the opposing Pokemon. So keep those two moves in mind. Now we are running Light Screen. It helps you get less damage taken to you by special moves, which is always a big plus. We are running Reflect, which helps on the physical side. You do take less damage from the physical side. So either one of those is perfectly. You're setting screens. With Light Clay, you're going to be setting up 8 turns of screens. So no matter what, you're fine. You might have to reset them depending on how everything goes, but sometimes you don't even have to. Now, our last move is very interesting here. Skill Swap. What it does is it works in Tera Raids, which is very, very big. You go ahead, take your weak armor ability, swap it to the Raidmon, and you get their ability and they get yours. What that means is if you're hit by a physical attack, your defense goes down, but your speed goes up. So you move faster, but you take more damage in overall, which isn't good. Difference is, if you do swap, you can get some pretty good moves. I mean, if you're going against an Annihilate that's running Defiant, I mean, you're going to be sitting there with a Defiant. They have weak armor. You don't really have to worry about that ability proccing or anything else like Gale Wings, Talonflame, stuff like that. So honestly, very, very good. So let's jump into our ability and the spreads here. So what we're going to be looking at for the spreads is a 252 attack, 252 defense to be more bulky, and 4 special attack. We are running the bold to help out get more defense and lower our attack stat, because we're not going to be using that attack stat. Now looking at weak armor, because we did cover it with a little bit of the skill swap, what it does is the Pokemon's defense stat is lowered when it takes damage from a physical move, but its speed stat is sharply boosted. So 3 hits, your max speed, guaranteeing you go first, but your defense stat just gets lowered. So not really a good thing because you're going to be taking more damage. Now I have found the very interesting thing here. If you go in and you skill swap away, if they nullify the effects, they keep the ability. And if you get knocked out, you'll come back in with weak armor, but they will still have the ability because they haven't swapped out. So honestly, if you just do it once, you don't have to do it again, which is very, very solid. Now getting into this Tera Raid, you can see that we are able to go in, skill swap our ability away. They start taking a lot of damage because we were hitting them on the physical side. So it is proccing the ability. They do get the speed boost, but besides that, they are actually going to be taking more damage over time because we're going to be lowering their defense stat. Now, we are able to go ahead and throw screens up perfectly fine, take a lot of damage, and then we just get to sit there and fire off Psyshocks. You might want to max PP this so you have more moves, but that is up to you. And then keep in mind that you do have Shadow Ball and Strength Sap that you can swap in no matter what. So that is always a thing. I would recommend that if you do come in, turn 1 skill swap to get that ability away. They might hit you first, and you just go ahead and get a 2 speed boost boost and a 1 defense drop, which isn't always good, but you could defense cheer to go ahead and bring that neutral, and you're still sitting at a +2 speed. But if you are able to move first, then they just automatically get that ability and nothing really happens. But we are able to get in there and take it down. Now this is my Poltergeist set. It's more of a supportive mon. If you go online with this, you'll be perfectly fine. If you are running raids with it single, you might have a little bit trouble, but are in certain circumstances able to do very, very well. And that skill swap helps immensely, in all honesty, with the weak armor. But this is my Poltergeist set. I actually really love this set. It's more of a complex set. You kind of need to know how to run it. And it's more of a technical set. I feel it's more of a technical support. So you need to kind of have an understanding of what you're doing when you go in. But very solid nonetheless. And if you did like the Poltergeist, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next Tera Raid build. And let me know in the comment section below what Pokemon you want to see in the next video maybe. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.